Hello, hello. Happy afternoon. It's DK by the Bay. Today, we are meeting the newest rock star commercial real estate broker in San Francisco who happens to be a black gentleman, and he's joining us now. Christian Pearson, and I'm going to join him in right now. Hello.
Hello. Thanks for having me, Devon.
Wonderful. Happy Wednesday.
Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday.
Yay! So Christian is with me and Associates here in San Francisco. He is a new agent, and we have him on here today first to introduce him to our community because, you know, we stand a black commercial real estate agent, especially a brother for sure. So we can talk and introduce himself, and we're also going this on YouTube so you can find it, and make sure you go out and share this with someone who you think that might be awesome. Okay, Christian, tell us about you. Tell us about everything.
Hi, everyone. My name is Christian Pearson. I'm a commercial real estate broker here in San Francisco. As Devon mentioned, I'm with Lee & Associates. I was born and raised in Los Angeles. I went to the University of Pennsylvania for college. Came back to LA. I did a little bit of development consulting, and then I got my license. And I always knew I had a passion for commercial real estate, so I wanted to pursue brokerage, and here we are. And I met Devon, divine intervention led me to Devon, and now we're progressing, we're going up, we're on the success path, so.
Absolutely. So tell us a little bit how you found Lee & Associates, and tell them a little bit about how we met.
So I found Lee & Associates, I was just, several years ago, just perusing, going through all the brokerages around town, and Lee & Associates has a pretty big presence in Southern California. So I actually worked there in 2018 summer while I was interning. I came home from college and would intern at a brokerage pretty much every summer. So I interned at Lee & Associates for a summer, and I remembered, really loving the way they operated and loving the culture they created. I circled back, and we ended up opening a brand new office here in San Francisco, and I was actually the first broker on board. So that's how that came about. And then, what was the second question you asked?
Tell them about how we met.
So we met at an open house over, was that South San Fran? South Francisco? Yeah. Prologis Industrial office space, also property. And, Devon just came right up to me. And she goes, "Oh my God, I'm usually the only black person here." Like, she said she was going crazy. She was so excited. And I was so excited that she even came up to me, to have people go out of their way to make you feel included and comfortable, especially people who look like us. This is the industry where I actually have only ran into two other, black brokers besides you. So few and far in between, so you always gotta, say what's up when you see us around and make sure we're bringing each other along and, working together and making sure we're elevating to new heights together, because we gotta look out for each other.
Absolutely. I agree 100%. When I first met you, I was like, I'm gonna help you. You're gonna be successful. It's gonna work. One of the big things about being in this industry is the limitless opportunities, not only for financial growth, but personal growth too, and just who you know and your network. Tell us about, for the people who are thinking about getting into commercial real estate, what are some things that you find would be challenging to first enter the industry?
I would say the hardest part about commercial real estate is just understanding the terminology. Pretty much everyone, or the majority of people, understand or have a vague understanding of residential terminology. Like, everyone knows what a mortgage is, everyone pretty much knows what a half bathroom is, but commercial real estate is a whole different industry in itself. The markets do not correlate. So while residential, for instance, has been killing it the past 2 years, commercial, or certain sectors within commercial, have not been performing as well. For instance, office space, obviously, everyone's been working from home, working remotely. So office space, especially in this market, San Francisco, has, been hurting pretty bad. So it's just finally, on the upswing and recovering. But all that to say, ultimately the terminology and just understanding what people are saying is the first step of commercial real estate. That's what I would say. I believe that's also the first phase of your 5 phases of the success path, and that's absolutely the most important step. Because these brokers, they basically talk as if they've been in the industry for quite some time, and because they assume all the terminology. So they say net, triple net, industrial growth, the TIs. So all these things are going to go way over your head at first. But if what Learn Commercial Real Estate does is accelerates that learning curve and gets you on par with everyone else in the market. So
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate you saying that, and I'm glad that you're going in and diving in and enjoying it. And on a side note, guess what, brother? I
huh.
I now own the trademark for Learn Commercial Real Estate.
Let's
I'm
go.
so excited. Yeah.
Let's go.
Christian, tell us about what you want to do in commercial real estate. If you have unlimited possibilities, where do you see your career going? Maybe in the next 3 years and 5 years? And do you see yourself investing in any property at any time soon? And if so, what sector?
So at this time, I'm in brokerage, obviously. My ultimate goal is to be a developer. But while I'm in brokerage, my primary goal is to inform my people about all the benefits the industry has to offer. I typically, when I explain it to people, it's the difference between institutional investors and just everyday Joes, right? JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, they all own these very large skyscrapers we all see every day when walking through downtowns. And that's the type of properties that I want to own someday, try to, get that black wealth going, for, the generations. And even then, like, for instance, there's a lot of family owned property that are just passed down through the generations. Obviously, our people don't have that exposure because of, the world we've come from and our circumstances leading up to this time in history. But yes, I definitely want to be an investor in these spaces. Commercial, that's why I'm a broker now. So I learned how the transaction works, how the deal works, as you say. And then, I'm also looking to put together an impact fund and looking to, crowd fund from, just everyday investors. So I can provide access to institutional grade commercial real estate to the masses. Because for too long now, I feel all the wealth is being held up here, but and the wealth gap is continuing to increase, and everyone down here is getting left behind. So I'm just trying to balance that out, get everyone on par, so we can all live, our best lives.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
You made some really interesting points. I wanted to go back to your impact group. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? What your
Yeah.
Who are those people, right? Who is your target market, not only to work with you, but as far as your hunting? Who is the target?
So the impact one I'm putting together, I'm actually working with a couple of friends from college who are more technical than I am. I'm the real estate guy. They're more of the technical people. So they'll help me build the platform right now. I'm going to go meet them after this, actually. And basically, it's going to be a crowdfunding platform that just allows everyday investors to have access to institutional grade commercial real estate. Like I've been saying, these big skyscrapers we see, multifamily properties, et cetera, et cetera. And, really what I'm trying to do is, obviously there's a huge housing crisis all across America. And I'm sure everyone in the world, everyone in the nation experiences, the housing crisis weighing negatively on their quality of life, whether that be through, homeless people say, hey, can I get $1? Can you help me out? And right,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, ultimately that's not the way I think the world should be operating. I toured a billionaire, a couple of hours ago, and on the way back, how much you asked for $5, So, I want to help resolve that problem. I don't think that's the way the world should be, and I'm not going to allow it to be that way. So that's really what I'm trying to do is build, develop and hold and own large scale multifamily properties. So, and then additionally, I was just talking with a nonprofit earlier in the week, and they're looking to do acquire a theater, and it's the executive director. It's a black nonprofit, right? It's a whole right. So I also want to help those people out. I mean, she was talking about we need to raise funds. We can't buy this building because it costs too much, but we need, that community investment to make these projects go forward and just buy back the block, but also, I guess, like self-propagate wealth in a way,
Yeah. What are they looking to purchase their theater?
It's on Gary. When or where?
Where and when? The
It's
Pharaoh?
what was that?
The Pharaoh?
No, not that one. No, yeah, is a theater on Geary actually here in San Francisco. They are looking to purchase sometime down the road. We got to see how it pans out, but I mean, even just what I'm talking about, I reached out to the executive director just to meet up for coffee and just network with her because I'm a broker. That's what we do, right? We have to network with people. That's all about relationships. All about relationships. So we just met up the other day, got some coffee, and we were just chatting. And she was like, "Oh yeah, I was wondering if you even knew what we were trying to do." And I was like, "I had no idea. I just wanted to reach out and introduce myself. And you look like me, so I want to help you out. I have your best interest at heart because you look like me. That's it. Point blank. Period. So anything I can do to help you out and set you up for success, I'm going to do."
Right, and then that's really exciting. And one of the things that differentiate you from other brokers is that our people want to work with us, and so
Right.
the us are doing that. But it's also important to learn to say no because not
Right.
everyone's eligible. So that's one thing. I want to ask, and maybe you can share a little bit more about what your day-to-day is being a
Mm.
commercial. Whether it's calling to connect or actually going out. How often are you getting on the phone? How often are you actually going and talking to businesses?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So day to day, typically I like to do prospecting in the morning. So I get in, I'll just pretty much read up on, market news and see what's going on in the market, who's moving where, who's moving out, who's moving in, who's looking for space. Just get a sense of the economy and the environment of the market, right? And then typically from there, I start prospecting, start reaching out to people, identifying individuals I want to connect with, and then sending emails or LinkedIn DMs. LinkedIn DMs have been very successful actually. Cold calling as well. And then I think typically you want to start prospect. I learned this from a couple of my brokers in my office. People are fresh in the morning and more likely to respond. So you want to allocate that time for prospecting, and then try to set up your tours or whatever you have, like anything that's meeting wise in the afternoon. So fortunately, I'm in an office where we're getting a ton of activity. We get referrals all the time. I've been on a tour. I've been out here about 2 months now, and I've been on probably like at least bare minimum 10 tours already. So,
Right.
and I'm at yeah,
And lots of
open
open houses.
houses. Yeah, exactly. You're right. I was at open house
How much
yesterday.
money?
Open house the day before. What was that?
I said, how
Oh,
much money in
I
free
got
lunch?
right. I got $100 and a free lunch yesterday as well. I got $100 at the one we met at, the pro largest one. So it's crazy. Commercial real estate is nuts. They just give you $100 for showing up. It's ridiculous.
I want to know why we're so spoiled here in San Francisco.
Right. It's crazy. The money's everywhere. So
Yeah. Awesome. Doing is so important because not only are you paving the way for others, but you're making it sound and seem doable, which it is,
mm-hmm.
in the hard work, and you have a great team behind you. And I know
Mm-hmm.
you actually do have a great team behind you at Lee and Associates. Is that right?
Right. I
Can you
do.
talk a little bit more about your team and tell us more about the guys that are over there and some of your
Definitely.
characters and share a little
Right.
bit what the office is like there?
Right. So yeah, I'm actually in the office now. It's a pretty nice space, so you guys want to check it out. But we got some good skylights in here and whatnot. But basically, um, so the founding principal, Jeff Moeller, industry vet. He's been out here 25 plus years. you know, he wanted to open up his own shop. So he came and joined Lee and Associates. And then he's been great so far. He's a great mentor. You know, it's what I really, really like about him is he sees me as an equal, right? So when we go on tours, he's not saying, "Oh yeah, this is my employee." He's like, "No, this is my partner. We're not. We are partners. That is it." Like he makes sure that every single person know we're partners. So you know, he's a great mentor, always there. He says, "There's no dumb questions. Ask me anything. Do not hold back, like, because you're not gonna know everything. You know, this is there's so many
Right.
nuances. There's so many nuances to this industry. You're just not gonna know, and then you're gonna, and everything's so unique. You know, you're gonna encounter situations that there's just no precedence for it. You know,
Right.
so it's just everything is so unique. That's the best way I can describe it. And then we got Cody Coleman, who just joined us recently, and he is a monster. He's all over the place. He's a beast. So, and he's a younger dude. So Jeff's probably around 50-ish, and then Cody's 32, I believe. And so I have a more traditional approach guy, and then we have a more modern technology integration kind of guy. So Cody is great because not only is he super hardworking, but he incorporates a lot of technology into his approach. So he's got it set up to where he doesn't even have to do as much prospecting as a guy with a more traditional approach because he has people coming to him because he's got the technology integrated into his approach. So people are reaching out to him and he has exposure to certain clientele that, you know, for instance, my traditional broker might not have just because, you know, that's, he's got his approach. Everyone has, but it goes both ways though, you know, like Jeff has exposure to certain people just because he's been a vet, but Cody has exposure to certain people just because he's a newer, younger guy, you know? So everyone has their own style, right? So ultimately, you know, you want to have a good team behind you so that, and people who have experience, quality experience, so that you can essentially, you know, pick the best parts of each person's style and blend it and make it your own.
Yeah. One of the things that I've always admired about Jeff is his ability to lead from as a peer.
Right.
And I researched him a lot and read, you know, just kind of, I've been doing this for a long time, so I like
Mm,
and shakers are. And Jeff has always impressed me with his level of humbleness and how he's such a boss
right.
that you have to have an ego. And that is just something that's phenomenal. And I love that. Speaking about Cody, it's really interesting. And I want to talk about lead generation, talk about using systems to make your connections and your lead gathering and all of that easier, because isn't that what Cody's done?
Right. Absolutely. So
Right.
yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. So
Yeah.
tell me about that. And that's one of the things that you and I are going to work on, setting up some of those for you. And Cody, of course, is going to show you that too. But yes, making yourself a lead magnet generator when you're sleeping at night. You know,
Right.
morning leads are coming in you. Yeah, they're coming in for Lean Associates, but no, they're coming in for you.
Right. Exactly. It's essentially you can almost equate it to passive income within brokerage because you know basically he's got a membership to a couple of websites, which is so great because I mean obviously it costs him money to be listed on these websites, but the return on investment is significant, you know. So when people in the marketplace are looking for space, they come across his name. And
Mm-hmm.
then they go, "Oh, yeah, we're looking for space." So it's not like he's cold calling anymore. He's calling. People are in the marketplace looking, and he's going, "Oh, you're looking. I got you." You know.
And
So
back to actually qualify them.
right, exactly, and that's the next thing you get to qualify them. So it's
Yeah.
like, okay, like, are you legit? Like, do I want to put my time and effort into this requirement? And that's another thing you have to, you know, consider as a broker. And it almost sounds, I guess, pretentious or whatever, but certain deals you just don't even really necessarily feel the need. It's not really worth your time sometimes. You know, if the deal is too small, it cannot sometimes not be worth your time. So you got to know, or maybe the people are not really that serious. They're just inquiring and throwing inquiries out all over the place. So you want to make sure they're serious, we're truly in the market, and then that's a more warm lead, more legit.
And it's not being pretentious. It's being valuable of our time.
Exactly.
And self-diminishing task.
Right.
And especially real estate broker, you've got to say no. And you've got to know how to do the numbers and the percentages to see if the deal would make sense. So
Right.
I'm absolutely proud of you and so happy that you realize that now. But I want you to, it's not about being pretentious, it's about no. It's not
Right.
what's
Yeah.
you know, get a
Yeah.
check. This conversation involve money. Then I ain't got
Yeah.
nothing.
Right. Talk to him.
And it's okay. I think sometimes as commercial real estate agents, we can be a little bit of elitist in a way because we are doing
Right.
some of this stuff. It's not,
Right.
chicken soup. Not at all. This is real stuff. And I'm happy that you're doing that. So great. Moving on, because I know we're going to get wrapping up here. I want you to talk about. We talked about the development in the future, what you're going to be doing, but now, where are you hunting now? Where are you finding your clients now? What are some companies that are interested in you that you think you might want to help them?
So recently, I've been, like I mentioned before, I'm trying to look out for my people. But I think you also have to realize, you have to think about, look in the mirror and realize, okay, what do I have naturally? Okay, I'm Black. So what does that mean? I can probably relate to Black people better than the white guys that I work with, right? So, that's a niche in a market. That's a natural niche, right? For I'm Black, So I know as a Black person, I'm much more willing to work with another Black person, and that's just the way it is, right? So I've been reaching out to a lot of Black founded startups, Black nonprofits, Black architecture groups, and things of that nature. So that's really where I'm trying to build out my network at this time.
I will say something that, yes, we do want to work with us, 100% sure. But when you get to a certain level of business and you get to a certain level of understanding, you want someone who's competent. You don't care if they're green or purple.
Exactly.
Because that you resonate more with is Benjamin Franklin.
Right. Exactly.
Exactly. Those nonprofits market for you too. That's something definitely. For example, the Kapoor Center in Oakland, Mitch and Frida Kapoor, they're investors in Uber. I mean, they're uber wealthy and have programs specifically for Black and brown boys. So, AMLA in general.
Right.
And then you'll find that there are those. Now, I was going to ask you this. Are you an athlete? Did you play or something?
Yeah. I played sports my whole life. I played football all 4 years at University of Pennsylvania. So, yeah.
That's
athlete through and through.
That's actually a hook right there. Being an athletic sports player. I mean, there's so many people who are such high level companies. They've been wanting to do it, but they didn't have the minerals. They didn't have any of that stuff.
I think that's I'm new to this market, right? I'm not from San Francisco. I'm from Los Angeles, so I have every color in Los Angeles, right? But up here, I don't know that many people, so I'm just trying to meet, people that look like me. But that's not to say that I'm not willing to work with whoever. Good people are good people, point blank, period. And if you can make a deal work, we can do a deal, And then I get exposure to a lot of these, high net worth individuals through my partners, and we get along, like cheese and crackers. So,
Yeah, I'm so thankful that you got such a great group. Like, I called and was like, you just went up 10 points in my book for hiring. Like, I'm gonna make you some money, brother. I'm gonna make you money. You have such a great group, and you're in such a great place. But also, you're at the place that you deserve to be, because you're here in the now, and what's meant for you will never be taken away. You're going to have some amazing deals. I don't care what this market is. You're going to come in like you're doing and get in where you fit in, which is right on top. You're making it yourself. You're creating a legacy, not only for your community and your family, but for the whole world, actually, and little kids that are going to want to do what you're doing in the future.
Right.
So I'm proud of you. Christian, I really appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank you
I
so much for having me.
again, some God
Yeah.
bless. Christian, have a wonderful day.
You
Have
too.
best time, and we'll talk soon.
Talk soon.
Christian, he's with Lee and Associates. My name is Divine Couture with Learn Commercial Real Estate and DK by the Bay. I hope you're having a wonderful evening. Please make sure to watch the rerun because Christian Pearson gave some fantastic advice. We all love meeting new Black brokers. We're going to continue to support one another, and we're going all the way to the top, guys. Cheers. Lots of love always.